Greeting, travelers. It is I, Henka's Day the 5th, and it's time for another adventure. Today, I will actually be finishing the Pokémon starters of my own region, the Latria region. I think I have decided on this, what I'm gonna call it. I also have some names for the other forms. I'm not quite final on them, but still. But yeah. And also, of course, for the final evolutions. Yeah. I am a bit late, but yes, yeah, that's fine. Let's set some things up, and didn't really look at the time when. Yeah, didn't really look at the time, and then before I knew it, it was 7. My time, of course. So yeah. That's why I'm a little bit late. I'm not that late, so it's okay. I thought of some ideas also for the grass starter, which, if you saw Tuesday, I had some difficulty with the design and all that. But I think I have something. I changed the water starter a little bit. The fire starter is fine as it is, I suppose. But yeah. Also, and usually Fridays are for Baldur's Gate 3 with the boys, but you know, that was cancelled today. So I debated a little bit, like what I wanted to do. I thought maybe some Hollow Knight speedrunning, which I haven't done in a little bit, so would be good to get back into the groove. The last time I did it, I did get to do Watcher's Night pretty quickly, which I guess is good. And it's still stuck on the Watcher Nights, but you know. Though I decided on this because for the summer, the coming summer, we'll be away for quite a while. So I wanted to stock up on like videos and stuff, so you don't have to, you know, to still have some activity going on here, you know. So to have that, and I wanted to make a video as like a kickoff for the Pokemon region, I suppose. So that's why I'm finishing them right now, because it's already in 4 weeks, so I have a lot of editing and stuff to do. So I might as well finish the drawings while I'm at it. Yeah, while I'm streaming, that is. I'll still do Excel and stuff. Do Zelda tomorrow, and all that. So yeah, welcome. Hi. Good luck. Thank you. I guess yeah. Let's just get into it. Here we have our grass starter. This one I had the most trouble coming up with the name. I have decided on something though, and which being, let me just find. Found over here. There. Don't use capitals. Doesn't work. I'll change into the Greek letters. So that's with this particular font. This is a bit of Crescotades. It's a bit of, I feel like it's a bit too long, and a bit too much of a mouthful. But that's the best I could do. Okay, I wanted Hades in there somewhere, for obvious reasons. But yeah, then the fire starter. Don't remember. I should have written down the thought process and like why this name. Yeah, it's fine. Think of it, and probably maybe think of a better name. 1 minute. It's a theme. Yeah. This one was Zeus Kyvern. Obviously Zeus. I believe the second part of the word was something to do with ruler. But again, I did not write down my thought process. So yeah, I don't remember that. A bit bigger. There you go. And then the water starter next time. Yeah. I think this one is the best one. Seismos. Like short, 2 meanings. Yeah. Actually Poseidon for the god of the ocean, and Seismos meaning like quakes, because he's the earth shaker, you know. It's the only one I remember because it's the easiest. I think, yeah, just straight to the point, I suppose. Yeah. With that said, I suppose we should get into drawing. I'm gonna start with you over here, because you need the most work. I've sort of thought of like a few ideas I could do with you, but well, first of all, I want to move the leg. One of these, so it's like instead of just standing there, it's kind of like taking action, you know. And then I want the pomegranates on the shoulder. I'll call him Chris for short. This one, Chris. Right. That works. You can call him what you want. It's a Pokémon. Yeah. It's details you added on the water starter. Right. I did change that one. It's like the armor now, everything. The tail's a little bit shorter. I think it looks a little more natural that way. So yeah. Didn't change this one at all. I think I added the pomegranate shoulder pads, maybe. I did that on stream, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I want to make them look a little bit more like shoulder pads. Change the leg. And then... Give us more detail. I do not remember what all I did. But... yeah. And maybe I should add the tail like here. Do something with the tail at least. because in every there's like the head, like the tail showing. So maybe I should do something with the tail. I'm not quite sure what the... How does an actual ram tail look like? Ram. Animal. The first thing that pops up is gonna be the PC stuff. They don't really have much of a tail. I see. That's interesting. Huh. Well, how about that? Good, just gives me ReZero RAM. That makes sense. Does make sense. Okay, maybe I should have like implemented more of like the animals things into the designs and stuff, but you know, I'm not a zoologist. I'm just a nerd. So this was easier for me. To do some research on animals and stuff. I should also do some more research on the myths and stuff. Will make it a bit more easy to come up with stuff. Hello, welcome, Smackmanus. Am I saying that name right? Because I don't feel like I am, but yes, welcome. Either way. How's it going? Okay. First off, we'll move this leg to... I'm not quite sure how to actually do that. I was like, I'll add it back. It's gonna be more of an action pose, I suppose. Maybe not as much, but notice that when I'm sketching, I'm just pressing down a lot harder, which I shouldn't do. Because normally in my drawing styles, like, there's very thin lines. Yeah. Guess that works. Maybe to have sort of like a belt, if that makes sense. At work currently on my lunch break. Oh, well, enjoy your lunch. Thank you for popping by, like having me open during your lunch break. Yeah. What kind of work do you do? If I might ask. Relax your grip. My grip is always relaxed. Maybe something like that. Usually it won't actually be a belt. I'm wondering if, like, security. Oh. Nice. I guess. Cool. I'm not sure what I was trying to say there. I was trying to say something. But yeah, cool. Never actually really seen any security guards or anything like in real life that I know. So yeah, cool. This might be a little bit too low. I guess it looks a bit weird, maybe. Okay, I was thinking maybe it's a bit too much, but what if it was like a skull? You know? But then I thought like it's right around the crotch area. It looks a little bit weird. But I don't know. It does have a lot less empty space. You can hear my brain is working wonderfully today. I guess right now I'm a bit tired though. Looks nice. Took the night shift, so there's not too much activity. That's good, I suppose. I could never take the night shift. But I guess, yeah, if there's not much going on, then that's good. My sister once worked with security. I think some at least go around at night. At least she did. So I have met a security guard. Or ex-security guard, I suppose. Neat. Yeah. I'm not sure if I want it like that, but guess it could make sense. It was like little dents, you know, instead of actually like holes, like a skull. Before I do the designing, I'm gonna actually make it look like it's on there instead of. I was hoping to run into some handsome animatronics, but I'd work at the pizzeria. Yeah, I've heard about those. Too bad. Maybe next time though. Oops. Dang, yeah. Perhaps good to run into some at one point. Actually, I'm not sure about the lore. If they go outside at all. I used to keep up with it a little bit. Then I think after the third game, I was just checked out. Like, it's too much. And then some. Maybe some. There. Actually, I think it's all right. Big fan. Never said I was a fan. In fact, I've mostly said the opposite. I don't like horror of any kind. FNAF isn't that bad, I suppose. It's just jump scares. But yeah. I think this is fine. It's not that bad. Maybe like this looks a little too much like pants, but it'll have to do. It'd be kind of like Seder-esque. Suppose if this half is differently colored. Just color it differently instead of having the line there. Not that Hades has anything to do with Satyrs, but you know. Okay. I think that's enough detail, right? Probably. It does have a lot less pomegranates though. So maybe maybe add some like specks in the coloring. But first I think I'll what did I just drop? Dropped something. I'm not sure what. That's okay. I'll move on to the actual line art. I really need a new everything. Scrolling doesn't work. Your standards. Those have been dropped a long time ago. When it comes to art, at least. My art specifically. Yeah. I still care a lot, but like less so. So yeah. Maybe it's when I'm streaming that I'm just a little more nervous because I'm like performing in front of others. That I pushed a little harder on the drawing pad. Who knows? I realized that on my PC. Don't be nervous. I'm always nervous. I realized that on my PC, like the drawing pad is a little bit more sensitive, so to speak. That might also be it. On my laptop, it works perfectly fine. I don't know what's up with that. I guess it's a little bit outdated too, so yeah. Like I said, I need a new everything. Don't judge much. That's good. It's fine, I'm my own worst critic, so nothing you can say that I haven't already told myself. I guess it's always good to have multiple perspectives. Because sometimes it's hard to see. You're too harsh of a critic. No. I'm a perfectly fine critic. Everything that's not perfect is trash, obviously. That's a perfectly reasonable expectation. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Just moved right into the line art without saying much, but not really that much to be said about it, I suppose. 2 1 2 maybe think of some more ideas while I do this. I'm gonna zoom in a bit more. Maybe I should change the color of the sketch lines. could actually be helpful. So I can actually see outline a little bit better. You know. I don't know, I've never done that, but I've seen people do that. That could help. I'm gonna make it. How can I make already made meatballs tastier? Could add some spices, I suppose. Good. Yeah, not sure how else. Like, are they pre-cooked or just like, are they already balls? Spice do you recommend? Spice to have. Surely there's already like spices in there, but I don't know. They're already cooked. Oh. That's gonna be a little more difficult than like a sauce. Make a sauce. I don't know, I haven't made much meatballs in my life. What sauce would you add? It's hard to say. I don't like, because I don't know how they taste, so it would be. Yeah, if they just taste bad, then I would just recommend any sauce, really. Cover up the taste. I think of it more as like a vehicle for the sauce, so the sauce doesn't get too overpowering. I guess like with bread, how you use that so that the bread toppings, sandwich toppings, don't get too overpowering, I suppose. If that makes sense. It just seems bland to just have spaghetti and meatballs. I was wondering how to spice up the plate. Well, actually, do you have any like Italian spices? Wouldn't really know how to. Just here, I just have like an Italian spice mix. So I would just add that to some tomato sauce or something. And put that with the spaghetti and meatballs. As long as you don't use ketchup, then it should be fine, really. Yeah, spice mix and tomato sauce. Yeah. I'm gonna use ketchup actually. Blasphemy. Italians will cry. Ranch, even worse. No, I don't think I've ever had ranch. Because I'm not American. But yeah, it's like a dressing, right? More than a sauce. It's not. I suppose the condiments are technically sauce, but they're different. You put them in nacho cheese on spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, I see how it is. Because everyone here is just uncultured. Delicious. Can't believe this. My own chat. Like I'm not even Italian, but even I know you do not put ranch and cheese. Okay, we're too far gone. We strayed too far from the light. Marinade spaghetti in the Taco Bell plastic. I don't even have words for that. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah. You do you. Oh God, you're a genius. Feel like I'm the only sane one here. What? You mean what? I'm gonna try to make it a different color. A little lighter, maybe. So maybe a bit too much. Push yellow would work. Make it a nice red, maybe. There you go. There was a time people thought tomato sauce and spaghetti together is weird. I think they used to think that tomatoes were poisonous. So that makes sense. It's not on pizza. At least over in the West, they thought tomatoes were poisonous. Again, it's something to do with like lead plating or something. But, yeah. Just a weird random fact, I guess. Go. I shouldn't waste too much time on like perfect line art, but I guess I'm already at it, so I might as well continue. Okay. As long as you don't put pineapple on your pizza, it's fine. Or any fruit, really. I guess tomatoes technically a fruit. Well, I guess I also wouldn't put raw tomatoes on my pizza either way, so yeah. Should make a fruit pizza instead. Sure, make a fruit pizza. But I want to see you eat it. Show me the proof. I guess some fruits could work, maybe. I'm not sure which ones though. Like anything, like even like the technically fruits, but kind of vegetable, like avocado or something. Like it still would be weird on the pizza, I think. Ornament barbecue dipping sauce. Now that's crazy. It's literally just water. You're gonna have watery barbecue sauce. Nobody likes watery sauce. Well. I like the nice swoosh here. I feel like I'm making these lines a little too thin. And it's gonna bite me in the butt when I'm gonna go to the coloring. You know, they say I teach you like when you're kids to like draw in the lines. Those lines are always like as thick as 3 stumps or something. 3 trunks rather. I guess stumps are just that 3 trunks, but you know. So I feel like it's not entirely fair to ask me to do that. God said water is good for you. Be that as it may. You know, the next thing, you're gonna pour water on your bread. Is it still good for you then? I don't think so. I guess it's still the same amount of good, but you know, it's gross. Just thinking about soggy bread. Point. Come on. That was way too difficult, more than it should be. That'll do. There we go. There we go. Soggy bread is the most efficient way to eat and drink. I'm not even... I'm learning so much. No, don't learn from this, please. The only soggy bread you're allowed to have is French toast, because that's actually good. I guess, no, I don't know if you would really call it soggy, but I suppose it's technically soggy. And like this is just dripping. Doesn't really look like leaves. I guess we can fix that later. Maybe it should be more like a this kind of texture. But it's fine, I guess. There we go. Here. My phone keeps auto locking. Getting there. Yes. I can't see the chat as well. That's a bit annoying. Also, if you're wondering why I keep removing the sketch so I can see it, it's a little bit better. Probably should have done this before I started doing the line art. I'll sometimes also like flip the canvas to see if everything's good. It looks like it is. So yeah. Ideas for signature abilities. So yes, actually, idea for all of these starters was to give them a signature ability that basically gives them a third type, so to speak, or like stab damage in the third type. I feel like adding the weakness and stuff would be a bit too much, but like at least the stab damage, maybe a super effectiveness, but I don't know. Might get a bit too complicated. Yeah, it was mostly because of this one, Zeus Kyvern, that I did it, because I want to make it flying type, obviously, because it's the ruler of the sky, Zeus. But then also like electric type would make a lot of sense, but can't make it flying electric because it's fire type. So yeah, its ability will give it the electric type. And for Poseismos, it will be ground type, I think I settled on. So it'll be water, steel, and then gain the ground type with the ability. And then this one, I think it was either will gain the dark or the ghost type. Either would make sense, really. I think gaining ghost type would make the most sense, since it is rules that and doesn't technically have control over the dead, so to speak. Or over death, I guess. Is control over the dead, but yeah. You know. So yeah. Electric is just sharp fire anyway. Exactly. That's a nice way to put it. Sharp. Yeah. Yeah. As for signature moves, I've not thought of those yet, but I suppose they would have to be off the whatever the third type will be. I guess that would make the most sense if that was the case. I think he should. This one should gain the dark type. Could go out something like one with darkness. Or even just Helm of Darkness. So this kind of has like a helm thing going on. Oh, it makes sense. And then Seismo's ability will be called Earthshaker. One of Poseidon's titles. And then yes, what was your name again? To Skyvern. Like, I was gonna say like Ruler of the Sky, but that would make more sense if it would gain the flying type. I guess it could go either way, but it would make more sense if it has the flying type naturally. You know? So I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I did make a sort of like layout. Which I can show a little bit. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Not that. Where did I? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So it go here. If here like type, ability, stats, obviously the dex entry. Here I'll have the Pokemon and the name. And the shiny over here. Should make shiny versions. I can do that off stream maybe. The evolution line. Not sure what would go here, but something. Yeah. As you can see, I need to finish that also. But I can do that later. Not as important as the mons themselves, I think. There. Oh my god. Really wish I had a better drawing pad. But it is what it is. Gotta the deal with the I was gonna use this like a saying. Not sure which one would be the right one here. But yeah, gotta make do with what you have, basically. It's what it comes down to. Oh my god. Maybe I should just be better at drawing. Yeah, so. There we go. So I think I've decided on who the early route normal type mammal thing is gonna be. I think I'm gonna base it on Heracles. There's usually kind of like meh, like there's some cool ones, but usually they're kind of like meh. I think Heracles would be like cool, pretty cool. Early normal type. Still haven't decided on the bird though. But yeah. I suppose. Like I thought about it and was like, maybe I don't want like the Olympians to be like one of them, you know, or like the early normal type or the regional bird or something like that. But, like thinking about it, I don't see why they can't be. It almost makes sense if they are. Yeah. They should be at least strong enough to be gym leaders. Ace. Icarus for early bird. You know, that's so obvious. I'm kind of mad I did not even think about that. But yes, thank you. That does make sense, yes. Yeah. It should be weak to fire. Eventually. I suppose. Or, you know, whatever type I'm gonna make the Apollo Pokemon, which probably will be fire. For obvious reasons. Yeah. Okay, no, just the skulls. Guess that little one isn't really a skull, but you know, give the fluffy ability. So I think I know what it is, but now I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty. I can just look it up. Oh, fluffy. Gives damage from contact moves, but fire type moves to double damage. That, yeah. Thinking what it could be. Let's see, what type would Wax be? I almost think it would be like water, but doesn't make sense. Maybe like bug. Actually, bug could make sense. But are you gonna have a bug bird? It doesn't make sense anymore. I could just make it grass too. Like flying grass. I already said that before, but yeah. Or just pure flying could also work. And then give it an ability like Fluffy, yeah. I'm gonna just duplicate this. So it's symmetrical. There we go. Call it cheating if you want. Because it is. But it's fine. Okay. It's not really cheating, but yeah. Should pick up the pace a little bit more. You can actually get onto the coloring and stuff today. Just don't have all day, but I guess it's no longer day here, but there we are, this cheats. That's true. That is true. Okay. There we go. And make a lot of sense. Maybe it should be like that. Yeah, sure. Works for me. Okay. Said I would pick up the pace, but then I'm stuck on this for several minutes. That's okay though. I suppose it doesn't need to be done today, but I've already put it in 3 titles. That would be the final one, and then it's still not. So yeah, but I'm actually gonna just do that. Copy this. That's a thick one. Okay, but that's okay. Then can't rush art, that's true. Finishing this time, guys, the saga. Yeah. Like Attack on Titan. The final season, just kidding. Yeah. Like the final season part 2, the last chapters. I think is what the last season is called. Something like that. Yeah. And then I'll just deform this. Maybe not that much. So look like that. Make this a little bit more round. look a little bit nicer. I don't think it's completely accurate to do it like that. But it's fine. This would be a bit thicker on this side and on that side. Maybe. There. That'll have to do, I suppose. Okay. We got some of the details, like the hooves, and the eyes. I guess the dents, rather. I'm actually not that mad about them being not perfect circles. Because they're not actually skulls. I guess it also wouldn't be perfect circles if they were skulls, but I suppose they would be a little more round. Well, yeah. Literally, they're fruits. There you go. This doesn't make sense. There you go. And there we are. And that one can just stay like that. Good, good. I think that's all right. Maybe I'm gonna leave it like this. Yeah. Onto fire type. To Skyvern. Should hopefully go a bit quicker, because I don't have to actually think about how everything's going to look, since it already has a look. I'm gonna do the fire hat first, but maybe it should be a bit of a different color, the same color as this. There you go. So it actually looks like fire, not just a head. So that's, I want a bit more of a swoosh. How did I do it the first time? And does this work? I think it probably works, right? Hopefully. Yeah. That'll do it. Maybe I think that works a little better. I just do it like that. Yeah, I think that's good. Actually, maybe like that. Yeah, makes a little more sense. And then we go. There we go. I did just say that I wouldn't have to think about how it would look, but then I did anyway. That's okay. Okay, could just really name this thing Steve's Lava Chicken. Of course, of course. Another movie I've seen. Not sure I'm going to. I kind of want to. Just don't want to spend actual money on it. So if it comes to a streaming service, I might go watch that. The Minecraft movie, that is. Just to see, you know, how it is. But yeah. Because I've heard it wasn't actually that bad. Then I've heard other people say that it was horrible, but yeah. So I gotta know. But I'm not curious enough to go to the cinemas for it. So I think it's still, I'm pretty sure it's still in cinemas. Yes, I'm not sure. So let's see. I don't think this is completely in the center. I don't think it's centered at all. Yeah, no. No, it is not. Okay. Maybe. That work better? It's centered now. A little more, but not quite. I'm gonna quickly do that. This more transparent. And then I'm gonna follow that line. Oh my god. Almost. You know what, that'll have to do. Then don't need that anymore. Now is this centered? I think it is. Maybe. I think it's fine. favorite part of the Minecraft movie is when Jack Black pushed down his grandma down a flight of stairs. Isn't no the water bucket trick? His grandma? What? Okay. I might have to see it. I did play a lot of Minecraft back in the day, so not as much anymore, but you know, every once in a blue moon, you know, when it's that time of the year to play Minecraft, I might hop on, but yeah, not as much as I used to. I suppose is alright, but I think that's centered. I hope so. Rip grammar. And also, like, if you put down a water block at the last second, you block off all damage because water blocks your fall, you know. Unless he missed, in which case, yeah, rip. Yeah. Okay. I don't actually know that much about the movie itself, so you know the memes, but those I think are mostly from the trailer. I know there's a song. But of course Jack Black is in it, so that just makes sense. I guess there wasn't a song in Kung Fu Panda. Not that he sings, at least. So I guess it is not like a necessity, but yeah. I think most movies he's in, he at least has just like a little song. Okay. Oh my god. There you go. I sometimes get a bit annoyed at myself when drawing. I just can't draw the line right. I just undo constantly. And sometimes I do get it right and then I undo it because I'm used to undoing it. And then I cry a little on the inside, you know? I guess I don't have to do it in like one swoop. Just look a little bit nicer if I do. I suppose don't necessarily have to do that. There. Then we go. And there we are. Chicken leg. I'm not sure about this leg, or this foot rather. But yeah. Okay. I think I am losing my concentration. I sometimes have those moments where just like you're doing something and then it's just gone. Your concentration, that is, not the thing you're doing. I guess it's also a possibility depending on what you're doing. But yeah. Happens more than I would like, unfortunately. I'm just going to copy this wing. When it comes to curse, I like to turn the canvas. That would help. But yeah, I'm stubborn. Oh, that completely goes off the screen. Why is that? Have to make you smaller? Maybe. Perhaps. Or some try. I have to make you a little bit smaller. Should also grab the hair. Okay. There. That's on a separate layer. Okay. Good. There we go. Twice. What happened? Oh. Maybe I just accidentally skipped over that. It's okay. I think I just didn't select it. There we go. Looked a bit weird. Okay. I think it depends really on like what angle the canvas is. I guess that would be the reason why you need to turn it, but this is the leg, right? And Jackpack. Ash for the live action Pokemon movie. That would be something. There's already a live action Pokemon movie, technically, but did not have Ash. And I thought for sure it would have a sequel, but it just didn't. Like it happened and then everyone forgot about it. Yeah. I would like to see a live action movie with Ash. Even if it was Jack Black. I don't think that's likely to happen, but I suppose it is possible. This journey has concluded, so there's like a clear beginning and end and everything. But yeah. I kind of tried to make the first few episodes into a movie. With Pokemon I Choose You, I think it was called. Also, I swapped. It goes down here and then up there. I swapped that. Yeah, which I saw, and it wasn't that great. Nostalgic, I suppose. That's really all that going for it. They tried to change too much, I feel. Look what I got here, broskies. Oh god. This isn't just a Pokeball with a wicked cool purple paint job. It's a legendary Master Ball. Aggressive head whips. Dead. Oh. Yeah. I know we're joking around here, but I hope that they never do that. I guess it worked for Minecraft. Isn't actually Minecraft does have a story, but it's like there's only really like something there when you beat the game. Which is strange, I suppose, but yeah. It does have a story, sort of. But yeah, not really. Yeah, I guess it like worked out with how silly it all was, but yeah. You know, I would actually hate that. They did that. It would be funny though. Like I'm usually like all for cringe, but yeah. Like that. I think that works a little bit better. That over there. Okay. Not this one. turn. No. That work? I don't know. It's a bit long. Okay. I think that's fine. I think the back class maybe a bit much. We'll do it like that. I think that works. Sure. Okay. And just the details and the tail. I need to move my fingers just a little bit. Starting to cramp up. Sure. Speaking about Greek mythology, you heard about that musical about the Odyssey? I have not. I have not, no. Not really into them. In the musical world, so to speak. I suppose I am kind of in the mythology world, so. But I did not know they overlapped. I guess it makes sense since it does make sense that they would overlap, but you know, like in the modern world. Go. There. Yeah, tell me about it. If you, I mean, I assume you've heard about it. Seeing as you brought it up, it would make sense if you had about it. Because maybe there's not all that much to tell about it. It's just the Odyssey. Yeah, it's cool. Let me make this one big one. Maybe. Oh, it looks a bit weird. Like it's like a beard. I guess Zeus is then depicted with a beard, so no, that makes sense. I mean, definitely intentional, obviously. Never do anything by mistake. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. I'm just gonna once again copy that. It's a bit more symmetrical. A little better. Like there. Good. Then the eyes, which I can spoil now. I am also going to just copy, paste. You know. Yeah, I guess like a common thing artists do with eyes. Maybe not. This doesn't always really work, but I'd say often it doesn't work. I guess it depends on the angle. But usually you don't like draw a head-on face, but I suppose you could. In which case, it would make sense to just copy the eyes. There. And copy paste it. Over there. Go. It's not in the center, is it? There. Go. And almost forgot about these. Yeah, this also like a thing I wasn't sure about. Like just having the lightning bolt on the wings. But I suppose like the buzz also has just straight up lightning bolts on its pattern. I suppose they are kind of like tiger stripes, but yeah. Okay. Does that work? Yeah, like that's all right. Yeah. There we go. Wait, my chat did not update on here. This is a Pokemon with an ability that has 10% chance to paralyze the opponent upon entering battle. That is a good idea. Yeah. That would be cool. I'll write it down. I should write it down right now because I'm definitely gonna forget to do that. Give me a second here. This is during battle. There we go. So there we go. Let's write down the Icarus one. McManus has to be in the credits now. Yeah, obviously. Every traveler that comes by will be in the credits, I suppose. Though I'm not sure if I'll actually make a game. You know, in theory, if I were to make a game. And everyone would just be credited. Suppose I have dabbled in game making, so it's not completely out of the question. But I've never actually finished the game, so yeah. I think I would first rather want to make an original game than a Pokemon game, but I suppose I could just make this an original game too. Either way, I think that's all. No, it's just kind of like flipping through them. Flipping this, not a book. Yeah. Good. Okay. Last. Yep. But not least. Actually, this one is done. I do think Poseidon's even is my least favorite. Don't tell him that though. I do still like it, but I never finished this. Just my drink. Sorry. Obviously, you can't see that. Yeah, there finished my drink, and it's cold now, so that's nice. Yeah. Okay. This will be the air. I was wondering what this was, but that's also just the ear. F, yeah. There you go. It's not. I'll not make it go all the way to the eye. It looks a bit weird. Okay. And okay. Nope. That. Yep. Those are already too Pokemon-like for me to make an original game out of this, but technically wouldn't be infringing on any existing Pokemon. Unless they do actually make the Greek mythology region, in which case that would be sad for me. It would be awesome also, but you know, I'll just have to announce it before they do. And then I'll be the one suing. No. I don't have the money for that. Also don't think I can claim the idea of doing something inspired by Greek mythology. Yeah. But then in turn they would also not be able to, so. I think it would mostly be like whoever would play it will always compare it to that one Pokemon game. Though if they keep going the way they are now, would actually not be so bad. It was gonna be good. That is all hypothetical, of course. Game Freak designed these final starter Evos. One of them would be buff for some reason. Yeah, they would all just be bipedal. I guess two of mine are also bipedal. This one is technically bipedal. But yeah. Yeah. This one is not, it's prancing. Different. Yeah. You actually hope Game Freak will step up their game. Like, I'm still a Pokemon fan, obviously. That's why I'm making this, but yeah, they can do better. They have, so yeah. But I can't really say anything. I'm obviously still gonna buy ZA and whatever the next generation will bring. So call me hypocritical if you like, but yeah. Technically bipedal. Like it's a choice after you take out his other legs. Yeah. I did consider just like give him in 4 legs, but I shall. Call me hypocritical. That's fine. I can be critical of Game Freak and still like what they do. Not everything they do, obviously, but yeah. I can still like their games, even if I think they are very flawed nowadays. Because even back then they were kind of flawed also, but you know, nothing's perfect. They had less flaws, I would say, back in the day, but at least less glaring flaws. Or yeah, you know what I mean. No, yeah. It is what it is, as they say. Okay. Yeah. Imagine if they give Incineroar a Mega Giga Chat. That would be hilarious. Actually, I see them doing that. I think maybe the new starters would get a Mega first. I would hope. I guess they're not new starters, but you know, the ZA starters. Or those are starters. There you go. Maybe the Kalos starters would work. Yeah. I don't think Greninja needs any more attention, really. It's already basically the most popular starter, so. But yeah. Where's my chat? Incineroar ability Exode. If you had this Pokemon on the field, you win the game. I mean, basically already, right? Isn't he really good and competitive? I've heard, at least. Maybe it was a few seasons ago. You call them seasons? I guess so. Generations makes more sense since it's Pokemon. Here we go. Okay. Oof. Don't know why I'm kind of tired from this. I guess it's just kind of repetitive work. I usually like doing the line art the most for some reason. I guess like just cleaning up the sketch is satisfying, so that's really why I like that part the most, but yeah. Lately I've been adopted like more style of just sketching and then using the sketch basically as line art. So I just like kind of like erase parts, and it's been been more efficient, but less fun to do. So maybe I'll stop doing that. But then again, it's time consuming to do it this way, or like sketch first, and then go over it again with the line art. But you know, I guess I'm technically on the schedule. Well, not the schedule, but the time limit. But sort of self-imposed time limit, really. So it's not that bad, but yeah, you know. Hey, what I'm trying to say is I can take my time. It doesn't really matter that much. I do that too. Yeah. It's kind of like sculpting. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go back to that. I'll do this first. Go. That's better to do it all on one layer though. I have a bad habit of making way too many layers. Gotta zoom out a little bit. Oh, you know what? I will turn the canvas. Just a little bit. Yeah. There we go. I think that's a bit easier. More natural movement. Oh. There we go. And to redraw a line, you just can't get right. Mental torture. Yeah. I mean, I am struggling with that right now. That one's pretty nice. Maybe we can just... Just my arm here. I'm just breaking my wrist real quick to get this right. That'll do, I guess. There we go. Oh. There we are. Okay. I think that should be all. The armor, at least. I guess the face and stuff. Can do that later. Do the tiny details last. Works. I think actually it doesn't really work with that. Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. There we go. Okay. This doesn't really line up. There we are. Okay. I'm gonna make a new layer here. This is a little bit easier. My hands are cramping again. It's mostly my left hand for some reason. And I have it in that like gamer position, you know, the WASD. Like holding it still there instead of actually moving it. That's yeah. Stretch your hands a bit. Open and close your palms. There. I don't know if you could hear that, but I did it. So again, I don't know if you have redeemed any Twitch redemptions, but if you did, I cannot see them in this chat. So if you did, sorry. I haven't seen them. I'm gonna assume you did it. Or if anyone has, you should tell me. I probably should have set that at the start of the stream, but you know, spend like 50k. I don't even get 50k. Where did those come from? Okay. Put your middle and the ring finger, base of your palm. Lightly press to release spider webs. Yeah, I mean the first half. Yeah. Yep. No, I do vigilante as a sidekick, but no, I'm not Spider-Man, unfortunately. That's not true. I'm not actually a vigilante, or am I? I guess we'll never know. Hold on. There we go. Can merge those again. I guess I do have a Spider-Man drawing. Me as Spider-Man drawing. That is. Spider cousin. Okay. Almost done here. I guess I was already kind of tired before I started streaming. I was debating not streaming, but then I was like, I should keep it up. Even if Jack Black is Peter Parker, Jack Black can't be every role now. Would actually be. They're doing like a whole multiverse thing, so actually it would be kind of funny if one of them was Jack Black. I guess they're not doing the multiverse thing anymore, but you know. Yeah. Okay. We'll just do a few details. Personally, I'm hoping for Miles Morales, Spider-Man, if Tom Holland ever stops. I think he talked about stopping, so I'm hoping they set that up in some way. He is kind of popular now, so yeah. I don't know how it works with the rights and all that. So yeah, it would be cool, I think. And don't even suggest Jack Black being Miles. Guess Black is in his name, so that's one thing. Okay. I had that at an angle the whole time. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this part, but guess it works. Okay. Maybe I do this. I would like that. Yeah, I think that works better. Jack Black has his own multiverse. Basically, at this point. I mean, he's got Minecraft. He's got Mario. Who knows, maybe it'll be in the next Sonic movie. Gonna play the robot, what was his name? He can play Big the Cat. The next Sonic movie. Yeah. And then, yeah. Play Master Hand in a Smash movie. Just connect all of them while we're at it, I guess. I'm gonna make it a little bit more round. It did annoy me a little bit. There you go. This one is fine. Yep. Okay. I think it's time for coloring. Maybe I'll change the expression just a little bit. His mouth be open. Yep. Okay. Now for the coloring. I feel like be maybe like kind of purplish, but darker than that one. Like a little bit more well, dark. Maybe not completely dark. Guess I should clean up this line out just a little bit. Some things aren't good. There we go. And over here. There you go. Perfect. Not yet. Almost. Perfect. Actually, shouldn't make it too black, because then the helmet could be darker. But yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this being separate, actually, but I'll leave that for now. Maybe I'll change it later. I think maybe I'll leave the shading for off stream. Just a little bit left for the video, you know? The shading can add a lot. I feel like not that the video needs to be a surprise or anything, but if it was, or that the video needs to be a surprise necessarily, I guess maybe could be nice. Yeah. This is kind of like if you're in the streams, you get a little sneak peek at the process and all that. Then and the rest will be, oh my god. Yeah, this will be in the video. Also the dex entry and stats and all that. I guess I did talk about the abilities and some of the moves, but yeah. Maybe we should have like the moves somewhere. Could be in that empty spot. Could be. So I'm just going around the outline so I can use the fill bucket to fill it all in. It's a little bit easier, you know. It's just a bit easier. There we go. Actually, I was gonna have this different color. Maybe I should have that the same color as the helmet, and then erase this part of the hoof. Maybe. Yeah. Program do you use? I use Clip Studio Paint. Yeah. I think it's either Pro or EX. I think EX. I don't have access to the animating features. I guess I technically do have access to them, but not as much. That's barely any difference. That's a popular one, yeah. I used to use Psy, but Clip Studio had more brushes that I liked, so I switched. or I guess just more features in general. So, also like a building like comic stuff, and I want to make comics in the future. Or I guess right now, but you know. So yeah. Be that was the goat back in the day. Yeah. Maybe that's a little better. I guess it turned more blue-ish. That's okay. Yeah, Sai was also free. So it's a little better. We to use. But I got this program as a gift, so technically it's also free for me, but still. You get it. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah. There we go. Okay. I feel like I have most trouble doing colors. You know, some like basic color theory. I'm just bad at executing it, I guess. Oh. Didn't have Sai back then, so he used Microsoft Paint. I said before, you gotta make do with what you have. And people can make some cool stuff with Microsoft Paint, surprisingly, so... yeah. You don't need expensive... I guess Sai isn't expensive, but no. Either way, you don't need expensive stuff to make good art. Yeah. What do you use now, I may ask? I don't know all that, like, all too many drawing programs. Is that right? My brain's starting to get a bit woozy. Maybe I'll kind of do that kind of thing. Like fade into it. That makes sense. I don't know if that's enough details for the final start evolution, but it's okay. It's fine. For the green, and I want the fairy bluish green. Drink some water. Do not have water on me right now, so I'll have to grab it. I'll be right back. With some bread. I will not grab bread. Yeah, I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Or do. That's up to you. I've returned. I almost did not unmute, but I did. Right, I should actually drink the water. Welcome back. Thank you. Okay. Green. This is mostly blue or cyan, I suppose. I want like a ghostly green, like they have in the 80s game. That kind of green that's associated with the underworld, instead of like a luscious green, you know? It should be a little more saturated, maybe. Like almost glow, but I can play around with that a little bit after. Okay. It's gonna bother me. I'll erase that real quick. Yep. I shouldn't zoom in too much. What's her name? Miku? It's not that cyan. She's a little... colors are a little bit different. But I could see that. And it's kind of hilarious to think that the Pokemon of the dead has Hatsune Miku colors. So yeah. But no, not quite that. Okay. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet here. I've run out of things to say today. I suppose I could brainstorm some of the other Pokemon. I think, yeah, what I'm doing next is the early route normal type, which will be Heracles. I guess starts off as a cub and then turn into a lion. Should be 2 stages. I guess a cub is also a lion still, but you know, it was 2 stages because I think all the early route normal types have that. So yeah, maybe it should gain the steel type. At least be very defensive, since lion skin that Heracles wears is of the Nemean lion, whose skin is impenetrable by weapons and stuff. But yeah. And while steel isn't exactly impenetrable, it is the most defensive type in Pokemon, so I guess it should could also be like fighting type. Would also make sense. Maybe it should be the pseudo legendary, and then it'll be fighting steel. It wouldn't be a pseudo legendary that's dragon, but there's already so many of those. So. But there's a lot of dragons to pull inspirations from. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know. But then again, run into the problem of not having the early normal type. Like what that would be, because it could be a lot of things. Can't really think of a good one though. Yeah. So both of those are up on the table. The flying type being Icarus, like what flying type, the bird. Not sure what bird it should be. I suppose, is there like Greek birds? Birds that, you know, live in Greece. I guess that is what would make a Greek bird. I'm not sure. I just haven't researched yet. That's why. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. This is very saturated. I think it's good, so it like kind of like pops out, you know. Unfortunate for I already forgot your name. It's too it's too long. I should think of a different name, I think. But yeah, this Pokemon. That is crotch area would be a target like that. Little owl, Athena, Noctua, Potential Burst of Grease. That would make sense, except I already wanted to make Athena an owl. I guess. Well, I guess it could just be Athena, and then the ace of the flying type, or I guess I guess flying type. Gym leader, gym would be that. I guess I didn't really want to have like type specific gyms, but more like themed. Or these would be themed around strategy, I guess, since it would be Athena themed. Yeah, that works. Wait, no, that doesn't work because it would be Icarus. I guess it could be both, but I'll keep that on the notes. But I completely forgot what we were talking about. Yeah. But I guess I could just make a separate Icarus bird Pokemon. Doesn't have to be. There can be multiple bird Pokemon in the same region. Just the early one would be one of them. I guess that still doesn't solve what Icarus would be. Yeah. Did I say bird type before? I think I did. That's okay. And then I think I'll send the legendaries last, but there should be 2 trios, and then they would be the Fates and Kronos, Gaia, and Uranus, I think. The second one, not really like a trio, but I think it still works well. And Kronos would kind of be like the third one, you know? If there was going to be like a third game. They don't really do that anymore, I guess, but it's fine. Because they have DLC for that now. And then gonna want like a few dots around. We should have these on a separate layer. Go, and then I don't know, it's kind of hold on, I'll read that in a second. Make this a little less saturated. It's a little weird. Maybe there's a bit too much. Squacko Heron, red-footed falcon, great spotted cuckoo, cuckoo, even Upo, common kingfisher, black-headed wagtail, blue rock thrush, Kretschmar's bunting, and black-headed bunting. Would make sense if it was like a water, not a water bird, but a bird that flies near the water, across the water. And I believe he crashed down into the ocean. When crashed down into the ocean. That's it. When he fell. So that would make sense. I'm sure there's like some of them, like the kingfisher. Sounds like it would be on water. That's good. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. I think after I'm done coloring, that I'm gonna end it. I did say that before, but I'm just gonna grab same eye colors. Maybe I'll have like a little deeper purple. I still have a little bit of purple in there. And then, guess it's the same black as the this, but that doesn't really work anymore. Since it's on there. I suppose it still could work, but maybe a bit too much. It's barely a different color, but that is a different color, so that's fine. There we are. There we are. Oh, the mouth. Can't forget about that. Also, I think I have my eye protection on. So that might be if the colors look a little weird. That might be why. Let me see if I can turn that off. Oh. Yeah, it's much better. It looks a bit weird now. Like very blue. I guess that makes sense because it blocks the blue lights, but yeah, that's good for now. And I'll do the shading later. And then moving on to here. I think I want the base to be white. Need to fix some of that. Actually, maybe I'll just go. It's a bit too white, but it's fine. Is anything else? Should be white. I don't think so. Maybe the tips of the wings. Oh, why did I do that? What? Oh. I think I have them all separate layers. All the body parts I have on separate layers. Which I should not have. There. Okay. The hair. And all this I can put on one layer. There you go. And for the hair. There we go. Perfect. Then reddish brown in the legs. Same reddish brown, maybe a bit more red even. Seeing as it is a fire type. Because I don't want too much. I don't want it to be too much like Blaziken. It also turns from like an orange old chick into a red bird. Yes, Blaziken is more like a bird man, but you know. That's good. I think I also want this wing here to be red. There we are. What was I saying before? I was talking about something before, but I got distracted, and now I don't know anymore. That happens a lot, actually. Yeah. I think I was talking about the legendary trio. I guess for the fates, they don't necessarily need to be based on animals. And like legendaries that aren't animals, right? My mind immediately went to Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf. But maybe they're mythicals. I think they're legendaries. Like the secondary trio. Actually, I don't want that to be the same red color. So I think this looks a bit... Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. There. Still a bit ugly, but that will do. Okay. We'll still have the orange. Maybe again a bit darker orange. I think I want to have him like his normal colors to be like dark. Then when he uses a lightning or an electric attack, maybe it'll kind of like glow, like it will charge through its feathers, so to speak. Not that you'll be able to see that in the drawing, but that's the idea. Like if it were to be animated, you know. Am I kidding? That's too much effort for Game Freak. I guess they do usually have the starters and like their signature moves, like make a special animation for that. So there's that. But yeah. Go. In the middle, I guess I can still have to be this yellowish white. Maybe it's like a cream. I'm not sure. I could also just have it be the same as the face. I could turn the face into this white. Either would work, I guess. Like it more if they're separate colors. Maybe. I'll see when I zoom out in a sec. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want it to be this one. Though now it looks a bit weird. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's interesting, at least. Okay. The wings, I will like the wings. I guess I already did half of the wings, but wing tips, I guess. I want it to be like an electric bluish. It's not really electric blue, but so to speak. I want it to be blue. That's what I'm trying to say. Or cyan. Like actually cyan. Another very similar colors. One is just a bit darker. I guess it makes sense that we split them up. It'll take a big chunk of the color wheel. But yeah, I don't know. It really doesn't matter what it's called. What is important is what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like that. So that's what I'm using. There we go. Cannot be bothered to fill that in again. Definitely. How does this look different than this side? What the? Like, how is this side? Oh, it's because the right. The lightning bolt is just in a different place. That makes more sense. I'm not going to fix that. That's okay. There we go. Looks white enough. Then I think I'll have this. the color of the claws. The seagulls have black talons. I guess not the whole talons, like the claws are black, really, but you know. We go. I'm going a bit longer than I usually do, but I really just kind of want these done. So I'll have them colored at least, and then yeah. I'll sign off. I think I've already said that, but I am honestly not sure anymore. This is not that long, like in comparison to most streamers. I'd say it's probably a bit short of a time, but I am not most streamers, so that's fine, I guess. Okay. About it last time. I really should activate my YouTube alerts. Before there usually wasn't anyone on YouTube, but now there is. So I have a reason to activate it now. So I shall not right this second, no. But eventually. Just in case someone subscribes or something. Then I have like random alerts. So I have a lot of them. I have to, you know, make a lot of like alternatives. It's complicated. It's not complicated, I guess, it's just tedious. That's why I haven't done it yet. Because I was kind of hoping when I did the Twitch ones that I could just take those and put it, like use those to for the same purpose, or the same alerts, but on YouTube. But I cannot. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but it's okay. We are. Time is it? That's fine. Almost done here. Except I'm not, because I just remembered that I still have a third one to do. Let's see. I guess it's okay, because I recently have been doing shorter ones for the streams. I guess I can make up for it a little bit. Okay, let me just copy that one. There we go. The eyes, right? And the beak. Should the beak also be black? So it would make sense, but I'll see how it looks. Yeah. See how it looks with this color beak. Feeling I won't like it. I don't. Okay. Immediately, not that bad. I'll keep this. Alright. Now just the eyes. Pink. So I should have this color. Same as the wings. And that should be a bit more go. Then maybe go just basically white. Yeah. For the head, though, I think you have like this, over red at first. Someone is firing fireworks, and I'm not sure why. Or making very loud popcorn. I'm not sure how popcorn can be louder than it is. So I'm guessing it's the fireworks. Can do it. Thank you, thank you. There we go. Then this over here. Maybe have some orange. Let's take this. That, I guess. Okay. That maybe. Then all the way up here. Be this as a mask. We'll take the yellow. First of all, color this. There we go. Okay. Not bad, I think. With that done, then lastly, this one. I won't do the rainbow right now, because I think that's part of the shading. So, gonna have it green, like a sea green. And then the rainbow part of it I'll do later. When it's time for the shading. This one I think is the easiest to do. I'm gonna hydrate real quick. Because it doesn't really look all that water typey. Maybe it should be more blue. I don't know. Guess it doesn't need to be completely. Are all the water starters blue? Maybe. I could always change that later, I guess. Yeah, I guess they are all blue. Anything like Squirtle. It's blue. Stays blue. Totodile. Cyan. Blue. Stays blue. Mudkip. Also blue. And stays blue. And we have Piplup. Let's get darker, but still blue. Ashwat also, yeah. I guess Ashwat is mostly white. There still has some blue on there. Then we have not Poplio. Froakie. Also, yeah. Poplio 2 for that matter. What else do we got? Generation 8. We got Sobble. Cinnamon 7. I think Cinnamon was 7, yeah. Yeah. We got Sobble. And now we have Quaxly. This is also mostly white, I guess. So maybe I should just make him blue. And I'll look more water typey. Although I guess the fire types aren't always like red. Like sometimes they're orangey, sometimes they're red. I guess they're always still fire colored. And then grass types. Actually, grass types can also be like brown. Like Rowlet's mostly brown. Like it just has the green little bow tie. And then the rookie, like I guess the starter is green, but then Rillaboom is also mostly brown. I guess you can still say it's like trees. This grass is kind of like more like nature rather than actual grass. So, so maybe I should make it more blue. I don't know. I think it's fine. I know Cyndaquil is definitely an exception. It's neither orange nor red. Because it does have a little fire coming off its back, but yeah. That's neither here nor there. So there can be exceptions. I guess they didn't really have an established like rule back then. This was the second generation, or an established like design style or whatever. But still, I think the other two fall in line pretty well. But this one doesn't need to. It does have the blue fin, so. Almost done. Also making this yellow-ish because it's supposed to be gold. Like the first stage had bronze hooves, and the second the hooves turned silver and grew. Now this one has gold armor, which well, not that durable, but higher in rank, so that's why. This needs to be not gold. Or at least higher in value. I don't know if the Greeks used it for ranking, but they definitely used it for money, so and gold was more valuable. So there's that. So did you know that the gold medal, I think in the Olympics, is made of silver mostly, and just no colored. I think I heard that somewhere. That's I guess making it of like real gold is a bit expensive, but it's not like they lack money or anything, so I guess it's also like valuable because it's rare. Maybe it's better that it's made of silver, but silver is also valuable, so I don't know. Like any precious metals, really. I guess silver is more readily available. I don't know, I guess. I managed for this in particular. I just thought it was neat. And really steel type. It encompasses all metals. So it works. All that. It kind of looks like a superhero or something. And just have the same here. I guess it doesn't need to be green, really. I guess with the rainbow, we'll already have blue there, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I can see later. Change the colors a bit. See what looks better. It kind of has Aquaman colors. That's kind of funny. We got that line. Okay, I'll just add that real quick and then I am done. Looks a bit better. Yeah, I think it looks a little too much like Aquaman. For my liking, so maybe I will make it blue. I guess with the rainbow color on the tail, it will be a bit better. But yeah, I think so Skyrim is my favorite of these. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Went a bit over time, over schedule, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So next time, tomorrow, we'll do Zelda, but next drawing stream, we'll start on the next Pokemon line, I guess, which will be the early route, normal type, I think. If I've decided on which one it's gonna be. Otherwise, I'll just do the bird. That's fine. Maybe like a bug type. like maybe like an arachne or something. I don't know. Either way, thank you all for watching. Thank you everyone who came by, who lurked, and all that. For now, we'll see you all on the next adventure. Bye.